video, I shared what Instagram has recently been recommending influencers create on a weekly basis in order to gain massive success on Instagram. And that is 8 to 10 stories a week, 4 to 7 reels a week, 3 feed posts a week, 2 IGTV videos a week, and 1 Instagram live a week. And in that video, I said at the end, I just don't think that this is something that Instagram is recommending for every creator everywhere. I think that there is a very specific creator that they're recommending this for. And I promise that in the next video, I would share who I think this creator is that they're recommending this for. So that's what we're going to chat about in this video. Before we get into that, I just want to say, my goal with launching this channel was to have unscripted videos, because all my e-courses are, as you guessed it, scripted. But the past 2 videos have been somewhat scripted because I keep coming across really great information and news about Instagram that I need to share with y'all because it's just important that you know it. So fair warning, today's video is going to be somewhat scripted, because when I found out about that list of the things that Instagram has recently come out saying, that they would like influencers to create in order to really build a strong, engaged audience on Instagram, I was a little apprehensive. And so I did a deep dive and I researched it, and I found some interesting information. So today I'm sharing an article that I found on The Verge. I'm also going to be sharing some information I found on LinkedIn. So let's get started, shall we? The article that I found on The Verge, which I'll link to below the video if you want to check it out for yourself, is called Instagram Needs Stars, and it's built a team to find them. And it was written by Ashley Carmen for The Verge back in 2019, right around the same time that IGTV first launched, okay? Now stick with me, I know it's 2021, but it is very relevant and you'll see why. And the headline says, to ramp up IGTV, Instagram's not betting on an algorithm, its literal money is on old-fashioned talent scouting. Who would have thought? And in the article, she goes on to say, nobody knows what to call Justin Anthony. Not Instagram influencers, not their managers. But when asked to describe his role at Instagram, he can't offer a catchy one-liner. So who is Justin? By now, y'all might know me well enough to know that I do a lot of research, okay? So when I first heard that Instagram had a team of people that was contacting influencers, I was like, who is this team? And I dug pretty deep to find out. And I came across his LinkedIn. So let's chat about who Justin is real quick, because he has a pretty important role at Instagram. And he currently is the lead of the creator and emerging talent team, which guides digital creators and emergent talent strategy in the US. Prior to that, he was the vice president of social media marketing at Nickelodeon. And prior to that, he was the vice president of talent strategy at Nickelodeon. And before that, he was vice president of music and talent at Viacom, and where he directed the overall talent management strategy and talent development program, where he managed talent relations for Josh Peck, Ariana Grande, Jeanette McCurdy, Victoria Justice, Emma Roberts, Miranda Cosgrove, Nick Cannon, Lil Romeo, Master P, Drake Bell, and Kenan Thompson. I hope I'm pronouncing those all right. He's quoted in the article on The Verge saying that, sure, he picks the lucky, talented people out of the billion users on Instagram and blasts them off to Instagram fame, but he still thinks of himself as just a guy, naturally. I don't care what they call me as long as they keep calling me, he says. So for the launch of IGTV, they say Instagram, really wasn't betting on an algorithm to discover talent to jumpstart IGTV. Its money is on Anthony. So when I said in my previous video that I don't think the list that is circulating around that, we need to create 8 to 10 stories a week, 4 to 7 reels a week, 3 feed posts a week, 2 IGTV videos a week, and 1 Instagram live every week. When I said I don't think that that's recommended for every creator. This is why. Obviously, Instagram has a team, and these people are looking for influencers who they can make into Instagram stars. Okay, and so in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but I think that list of content is for these people that they're turning into Instagram stars, okay? Because once they're on that path, it'll be easy for them to, of course, make all that content, because that is literally their job every day. Not that Instagram content isn't literally an influencer's job every day, but let's dig a little bit further into this article, and I think you'll see where I'm going with this. So at Instagram, Anthony finds influencers most users don't know about yet, but who he believes are destined to be stars. He ushers them into the world of Instagram and makes sure they understand how to use the platform. Okay? Are you seeing where I'm, connecting the dots here? So this is something they did with IGTV when it launched, okay? Recently, they launched Instagram Reels. Suddenly, creators are saying, a team at Instagram is reaching out to me and requesting a meeting, and they're recommending that I create all this content. I think we can see where this is going, right? And so the creators and emerging talent partnerships team at Instagram is larger actually than just Anthony. He works with 3 others to find emerging talent, but there are 40 employees in total, including people whose job it is to make sure that traditional celebrities get the support that they need to create, okay? But in return, they churn out content, which is the thing that Instagram needs most to make IGTV the future of video. Now, flash forward, we're in 2021. They're now also competing with TikTok, okay? So you can see where Reels is their focus right now, just like IGTV was back then. So it makes sense that the same team could be reaching out to people that they're finding are creating very entertaining reels to want to partner with them to continue to do so, because while IGTV in the past was the future of video, maybe right now Reels is, okay? And in the article they say, IGTV is a major point of focus this year, and Instagram's creators team, which is based in LA, has been tasked with not only identifying the talent, but helping them create content on the platform, whether that's by offering studio space or money to fund their shoots. Well, that must be nice, because shoots are expensive. I can attest to that. They'll support the creators, especially the ones they know make content that Instagram users will like and share. In return for taking a bet on IGTV, Instagram tells creators they'll be ahead of everyone else when it comes to massive success. That's amazing. In the article, Ashley goes on to say, during her visit to Instagram, she ran into dancer Casey Rice and her parents, the manager Jordan Jones, and dancer Susie Meow. And while platforms are often criticized for not caring about creators and treating them as expendable, Instagram's working to keep them happy. Anthony's team alone works with up to 1,000 creators. And remember, this is back in 2019, so I imagine that's a lot more than 1,000 right at this point. Anthony tells me he mostly scouts using his gut instinct and eye for talent, and doesn't rely on Instagram's tech to tell him who's destined to be a star. And remember, in my last video, I said he's looking at the back end of Instagram to see who is creating reels within the app itself and not just recycling them from TikTok. So he is using tech to find people, but he also is relying on his gut instinct, because he clearly has a great record of doing so, having done so for Viacom and Nickelodeon in the past. But I digress. The article goes on to say, instead, Anthony says he finds talent through agents or through trusted creator recommendations. He met Wahid because another comedian, King Ba, passed his name along. So you can see how things work. You know how things work in Hollywood. Then the article goes on to say he wants to see high engagement with their posts, or that they're punching above their weight. He also pays attention to performance indicators. The average engagement on a profile and its post is about 3%. But Anthony says a creator like Wahid gets 7 times that amount, which is amazing. Meow, the dancer, gets 8 times that average, which is really, really impressive if you think about it, especially considering the amount of followers that they have. Traditionally, as your audience grows, your engagement drops, but that's really high for the millions of followers that they have. Other performance indicators include some amount of following, mostly in the 5-digit range. Okay, so like I always say in my email newsletters and in the e-courses, that micro influencers and nano influencers, you definitely can make a lot of money. Okay, you don't need to have 100,000, 500,000, a million followers to make money. And here's proof of that. So, other performance indicators include some amount of following or backing of a major network that guarantees some kind of exposure. So like a major television network. Once talent has been scouted, Anthony invites them to the LA office for a meeting where he asks them about their aspirations, analyzes data like their engagement and where their followers are based, looks for improvement areas like posting around the platform more, and gives them best practices. Then, of course, the creators take some photos or make content in the in-house studio. So now, when these creators like Rachel were first contacted back in the fall of 2020, it sounds as though they were contacted via email and maybe we're having like Zoom meetings, whereas in the past they brought them out to LA to the studio. So again, it makes sense that the same team is reaching out to creators now that TikTok is their competitor, and now that their focus is on Reels and finding creators that could be the next Instagram Reels stars, so to speak. Okay, Wahid says that after their first meeting, Anthony sent him an Instagram Bible that he follows strictly. Now, I can imagine this Bible included recommendations like post 8 to 10 stories a day, 3 feed posts a week, 2 IGTV videos a week, and 1 Instagram Live a week. And if you look into their accounts, you can see that that's clearly what they are doing. And of course, now with Reels, they are also creating 4 to 7 Reels a week. Now, he credits Anthony's advice with helping his account gain more than 500,000 followers in 6 months. And he's also adding around 100,000 more a month. Okay, but remember, he's creating all this content, okay? But he also has talent already, okay? So, and that goes to show that if you create the amount of content that Instagram recently recommended influencers create to have success on the app, that you can really gain a lot of new followers, right? You have to remember that the content also has to be really high quality, right? And you can create all this content every week, but if it's not high quality, you're still going to struggle to grow. So it's really a combination. He clearly is recommending, this Bible of Instagram tips to these creators because they already have a lot of talent, okay? So if you take someone that already has a lot of talent and then you say, do this, 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 and this, yeah, chances are they're going to have a lot of success. It just goes without saying, okay? So again, I think this list of recommendations is for a very specific creator, not everyone, okay? Use this information as you will. You obviously have to have a lot of talent in order to be approached by this team, right? They have to have that gut instinct that you're potentially, someone that they want to invest in. And if so, you've got all this talent now by creating all this content. Yeah, it makes sense that you're going to potentially go viral, right? And he goes on to say in the article, I'm sure Anthony told me what he tells every other creative. I just applied every bit and stay consistent with it. You obviously are going to see results, right? Makes sense. And notice how he said stay consistent. As a blogger, I learned very early on that it's more important to stay consistent and produce high quality content than it is to produce a lot of content. There is so much more to be gained from producing quality over quantity, okay? In my last video, I mentioned how it can be really tempting to create lots of content right away, but it can also lead to burnout. And if you're burnt out, then you likely aren't going to create any content. And what's important if you're trying to be successful is to be consistent. if you're posting one blog post a week, or one YouTube video a week, or one podcast a week, or one TikTok video a week, as long as you stay consistent, you will experience growth and success. What you don't want to do is create lots of content one week and then drop off the face of the earth for the next 3 weeks. People find that really off-putting. Your followers, you will likely lose followers doing so, because it doesn't lead to trust. People like influencers and creators and bloggers and podcasters and YouTubers that are consistent. They know what to expect. They know to expect a new blog post every Tuesday, or they know to expect a new YouTube video every Thursday, or they know to expect a new podcast episode every Monday, okay? When they feel like they can trust you, they will be, your number one fan forever, okay? So just keep that in mind. At the time of this article, IGTV had launched 10 months prior. Meanwhile, TikTok, a short-form video app, has exploded in popularity over the last year, and YouTube has shown no sign of slowing down from its 1 billion hours of total watch time per day. And then Ashley goes on to say in the article, for Instagram, making sure that creators are on the platform and making things people actually want to watch is critical to success. And I really think that's so important, so I'm just going to repeat it because I want to drive it home. For Instagram, making sure that creators are on the platform and making things people actually want to watch is critical to success. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? Instagram recently launched Reels. They previously had a team to find creators that were really, really talented that could help Instagram get people potentially off of YouTube and onto IGTV, right? They found people that were really talented that could create really great content on Instagram, including IGTV videos. Now with the launch of Reels, I imagine they're using that same team of people to find creators on Instagram that can help create amazing Instagram Reels to get people potentially off of TikTok and back on Instagram. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you think I'm on to something. Let me know if you think I'm totally wrong. I'm open to all comments. But I think there's a correlation. I think that the list that is circulating around the interwebs is really intended for this type of creator. One that this team is actively searching for to launch into an Instagram star. Because again, Instagram needs people on the app, okay? So they launched IGTV to compete with YouTube, and they now recently launched Reels to compete with TikTok, right? So I believe they are on the lookout for talented individuals to discuss whether or not they are open to creating this amount of content. And if they are, then great. They will support this creator every step of the way, providing them with resources, technical support, in-house studios, equipment, everything they need to create the content that they're meant to create. And that in turn is going to help Instagram compete with TikTok, right? Again, I could be wrong. It could be that Instagram is recommending that every influencer on the app create 4 to 7 reels a week, 8 to 10 stories a week, 2 IGTV videos a week, 3 feed posts a week, and 1 Instagram live each week. But I don't think that's the case. What about you? Again, now, can everyone create all that content if they want each week to gain an audience on Instagram? Probably if there's a lot of really high quality content there. But again, I don't think it is for everyone. I don't think it's for every influencer. I think it's for these very specific influencers that this team is reaching out to, that this team is trying to create Instagram stars from, okay? So, a lot of people are on TikTok, a lot of people on Instagram are really upset and saying, I can't create all this content. That's too much. And for a lot of people, that is too much content. I certainly can't create that amount of content each week. I have a business that I run, and I know other influencers that also feel the same way. But there are also influencers that can create that amount of content each week And maybe you're one of them. And maybe they'll reach out to you, and maybe you'll be the next Instagram star, and you'll have the support of Instagram and their team of people, and their equipment and all their resources. And if that's your goal, then great. I mean, all the power to you. I 100% support you. But if that's not your goal, don't feel that you have to create all the content that you hear, Instagram is recommending creators create each week, because I really just don't think that's meant for everyone. And maybe you disagree, and if so, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear everyone's opinions. And then go on to say what we're trying to do while we bridge to monetization is not make the talent go out of pocket. And that's really nice of Instagram, because creating content is a lot of money. It is a lot of time. It is a lot of money. And so every little bit of support in that area really does help, especially when you have, apps like YouTube that will pay you to create content. And they go on to say, in addition to its white glove service, Anthony and the creators team let certain creators expense the cost of their shoots. Must be nice. Amanda Cerny says she can send a budget with her needs for each video, and Instagram will cover the cost. For its part, Instagram says these expenses don't reach even the 5-figure range, and it typically involves paying for a videographer, editor, or camera, which are the essentials for creating content. In addition to covering the expenses, Instagram has its own in-house studios and editors who can pitch in when needed. Well, that's an ideal situation, isn't it? So again, if you have the goal of becoming an Instagram star, then there is, opportunities for you. Hopefully this team will find you and reach out to you, and if you're willing to create that amount of content, you could make this your job. So as you can see, Instagram, while there's a lot of rumors going around that you need to create all this content each week to be successful on Instagram, by no means do you need to do that. There's, like I said in the previous video, there are tons of influencers before you that did not create that amount of content every week that are highly successful, and there will be plenty of influencers after you, and perhaps even you, that do not have to create that amount of content each week and will also be highly successful. So do with this information as you will. Please leave comments below. Let me know if you think I'm onto something. Let me know if you think I'm totally wrong about all this. But again, and maybe you are the next Instagram star, and hopefully if you are, and you are up for creating this amount of content, then you will have an amazing career. Obviously, Instagram is looking for creators who, would fill that position for them. And if that is, a goal of yours, I completely 100% support you, and I think that's amazing. And there are people at Instagram looking for creators that they can literally make into stars. So if that's in the cards for you, I wish you the best of luck. But if not, and you just want to create the amount of content that you have been creating and maybe a little bit more each week, then do what works for you, and you too will have success. Will you be an Instagram star? Maybe not, but you will be successful. So hopefully this video helped clear that up. Again, this is just my opinion, but I just wanted to put this out there just so that people could not get so stressed out about this list, because again, I just don't think that it's worth getting so stressed out about, right? I think it's safe to say that, just being consistent on Instagram, using their tools to create content, and really just putting a lot of high quality content out there is really ultimately going to lead to success. As far back as when I was a blogger to now, flash forward, I have a business and I have a YouTube channel where I help influencers and bloggers. From the beginning, it has always been my experience that quality is always more important than quantity. Whether you're writing blog posts, whether you're creating YouTube videos, whether you're creating content for Instagram, whether you're creating content for TikTok, whether it's a podcast, whatever you're creating, it can be very tempting to create lots of content and expect quick results. But that can lead to burnout. And then there's potential that you won't create anything because you'll be burnt out, right? So if you can be consistent and publish one video or one podcast or one TikTok or one reel a week and stick to that long term, I promise you, you're going to have success. It's when you get into creating too much, the things start to get a little risky, okay? So always keep self-care in mind, and just be consistent. People love it when they know what to expect from you, okay? So that brings me to the end of this video, but I just want to say, next week I'm going to be discussing the current status of the new Instagram partner program, okay? Now this is really exciting because Instagram has, finally allowed influencers to monetize the app. So I'm going to be talking all about, the current status of that program in the next video, and, how you as an influencer can monetize Instagram just like you would a YouTube video. In the past, you were really limited to sponsored posts with brands, or your own digital products, but now you can actually start to tap into Instagram's ad revenue. So that's really good news. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and turn on notifications so that when that video goes live, you can be first to see it and hear all the juicy details about that program. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That is really helpful for me, because then it tells me, okay, this really resonated with them, even though it was just somewhat of a scripted video, and I can create more content like this in the future. And it also helps in the algorithm. The more people like it, the more people that are searching for content like this will find my videos in the future. So I really appreciate that. Of course, if you have any questions about this video, leave them in the comments, or any questions about Instagram growth or whatever, feel free to leave that in the comments, and I'll try to address that in an upcoming video. So that is it for this video. Oh, and also remember to check out the link below this video to my membership website, which is launching soon. And once it launches, members will have unlimited access to all of the scripted e-courses that I have personally filmed over the past few years about Instagram growth, social psychology for social media, and influencer marketing. Okay, so go check that out, and you can sign up for an email list to be notified when it launches. And inside there will also be weekly webinars that you can attend, and an area to chat with one another and get some of your questions answered. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.